Worrying about heat in the middle of June? It may sound silly, but one expert says now's the time to check both heat and air conditioning.
Delmarva Life's Brian Spiros is in Hurlock this afternoon with the folks from American Vet Heating and Cooling. So, Brian, the heat is climbing. What can we do?
Well, Jimmy and Lisa, this is a topic that you certainly want to pay attention to, especially like you said, with the heat of summer headed our way. And I want to introduce you to Jim Christ, who is the owner of American Vet Heating and Cooling. A lot of good information. The first thing that we're going to talk about, that a term people may not be familiar with, is zoning your home. Explain to me what exactly that is.
You can cool out some certain areas that you're in on a regular basis, and the ones that you're not in, you don't have to necessarily cool them. The Mitsubishi Mini Split system is one of the prime examples. You have an outdoor unit that goes outside of the home that does your cooling, and then on the inside of the house you have the air handler that gets mounted on your wall, and you can mount up to 8 of these in your house off of one outdoor unit.
One or up to 8, depending on what rooms you basically want to cool. And I have to say, you know, standing here, you can see the ribbon here, but otherwise you wouldn't even know what's on. It's very quiet.
Yeah, they're very, very quiet.
Now, if somebody necessarily can't afford, you know, a whole cooling system in their house, I would imagine something like this may be more cost-effective if you had the unit and maybe just a couple of these mounted in the rooms.
Yes, it is. Because if you get into a traditional system on an addition, you have the ductwork, you have the unit, you have several days labor, whereas one of these we can put in without the ductwork. It's a 4 or 5 hour job, and as a UPD authorized Mitsubishi dealer, you have a $150 instant rebate that's taking place right now too.
So this is a good option to keep people cool. All right, we're going to talk about some other options as well. Window air conditioners, we see them all the time. People put them in their homes. They actually aren't helping people as much as people think they are versus having a cooling system in the house. Explain why.
They're very inefficient. They're very noisy. To me, they're obnoxious. But they also have little things that go on the side and fit windows universally. They're very, very thin pieces of paper. They let your heat come in and your air conditioning go out as well. It really doesn't insulate your home at all.
And obviously, if you have it in a room, it's only going to cool that one room, so you'd have to have multiple ones in the house.
It's going to take care of about
cool.
an 8-foot space.
Got it. So having a cooling system obviously will cost you a little more, but then you can obviously save money in the long run.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about ductwork. If you have a heating or cooling system in your house, you have ductwork, and you said people should be paying attention to make sure there's no holes or leaks in the ductwork. Explain why.
If you have any kind of leakage in your ductwork, you're going to be air conditioning spaces that you aren't in and you don't use, like your attic. You can take notice it'll be 20 degrees cooler. You'll see some cobwebs moving. It's a very good sign that you have duct leakage up there. You want to give us a call. We can fix that and put all the air in your house where it should be.
So look for cobwebs that are blowing, and if you notice a temperature change in the attic, you'll know there's an issue to call someone to have them come look at it. Because I imagine for the average homeowner, it's probably hard for them to pinpoint exactly where a hole or a leak is in an entire duct system.
Yeah, and another good sign is your system will be running a lot.
So people should definitely take notice of that. Other things we're going to talk about are filters. You have some filters here that we're actually going to show people. Explain to me what they should know when it comes to the filter.
This is probably one of our #1 service calls, especially in the beginning of air conditioning season. This is a new filter right out of the pack. That's what they should look like. They're very, very nice. They're very, very clean. They tell you how often to change them on the package. This is one that wasn't changed for almost a year. The homeowner didn't even know it was there.
Wow, and you can see all of the dirt and stuff that's obviously been trapped in there.
As it goes through, you'll end up breathing this dirt. It restricts your airflow, so your system runs continuously, plus it won't keep you comfortable at all.
So change it, and you actually have a good rule of thumb when it comes to when people should change the filters. Tell us.
Most people do their bills for the month on one particular day out of the month. So the day you're writing all your checks or paying your bills, make a mental note and change your filters while you're there. You'll save yourself a couple $100 on a service call.
All right, good for people to know. The other thing I really want to focus on, which really you don't find nowadays, is that you actually don't charge people overtime to come and do a job. Why is that?
As a homeowner myself, I don't believe in penalizing a homeowner that comes home from work very hot, already aggravated, already not happy that they're warm and uncomfortable. If we can help them, it's not their fault that the system quit. So we're going to come out and we're going to try and make it right as quick as we can.
And then the other thing too we want to talk about is, how did the business start? You actually have an interesting story, if you tell us real quick.
I worked for 2 other companies. They were more interested in business than they were on customer satisfaction. We took a different approach. Basically, if you're not happy, we're not done.
And you are a veteran, actually, and one of your other employees is a veteran, too.
We do veterans preference when we hire. I was in the United States Navy. Our other technician was in the Air Force. My wife is part owner, and her whole family was in the Marines.
All right, so a lot of good information, so people definitely should be taking, notice of the heating and cooling system, because it's all about comfort in your home. So, Jim, a lot of good information. Thank you very much. And speaking of comfort, I have to tell you, with the heat today, this feels really nice right about now. Can I just stay here all day?
You got it.
All right. So with that said, Jimmy and Lisa, we will actually send it back to you guys in the studio, and if I don't come back, you'll know where I am, basically.
You're being cool.
Yes.
Can't he just bring that with him? Wouldn't it
Yeah,
work
why
that well?
not? Yeah,
My
absolutely. Well, from your gutters to your siding to your front porch, a good power wash can make your house shine like it's brand new.
Still ahead on Delmarva Live, why power washing your house is more than just spraying it with high-pressure hose, and why you really need to consult an expert. Delmarva Live, live at its best, here on Delmarva.